Welcome people, we end up back at it again with another video. What am I supposed to say? What am I supposed to say to that Kepa? How am I supposed to defend that Kepa? I don't understand what Kepa wants me to say to defend him. Now, the reason I'm going in on Kepa here is because generally today we played well. We did actually play well. The output wasn't at the level that it needed to be at, but generally we played well enough, And in the dying seconds of the game, Ellis Sims comes in, a young player with very, very little Premier League experience. He takes a shot. Kepa should be saving it, but he doesn't save it. It goes into the back of the net. It's 2-2. 3 points thrown away, bro. Well, 2 points thrown away. For no reason, bro. For no reason. I don't know what Kepa wants me to say to defend him. Because what's going to happen now is a lot of Chelsea fans are going to be going in on him, right? And I don't want to be part of that, because the thing is, as much as he's at fault for that goal predominantly, right? He's been good for us this season. There's been times this season where he has really, really saved us. You understand what I'm saying? So now I don't just want to see one bad moment from him and say Kepa out or something like that. You know what I'm saying? I don't want to be one of those guys, I want to acknowledge the majority of his contributions which have been positive. But we need to speak about this negative contribution of his. He should be saving that ball all day long. All day long. Another person to look at though, right? Kalidou Koulibaly. Throughout the entirety of the game, he played well. He really, really did play well. But then in the dying seconds, he gets beaten easily by Ellis Sims. Then it's Chai, we concede. He could have done a lot better there. And the thing with Koulibaly is his contribution in the concession of the goal is smaller than Kepa's, but it still has to be acknowledged. Like, bro, he could have done better. 100% for sure. And the annoying thing is that it's not like he played bad the whole game. See, if he played bad the whole game, that might have made it better, actually. But he played well. He did well. But then, yeah, no. Yeah. Anyways, let's look at the game in its entirety, right? From start to finish. In the first 10 minutes, we were good. We were cooking in that first 10 minutes. And what I saw was a team that was playing with cohesion, They looked like they knew what the other was going to do, which space they were going to move into, and all those kind of things, And the link-up play was generally very, very good. And we had, I think, 78% possession in the first half. And a lot of that possession was near Everton's box, right? Which is good. This is positive, right? Now, around the 13th minute or so, we fizzled out, That intensity wasn't there as much anymore. And that gave Everton a chance to come into the game and grow into the match. You understand what I'm saying? But then again, we did gain control of the game again around 25th minute or so, And then it was business as usual. Us having control of the ball, control of the game as a whole, and getting in and around Everton's box. However, what has to be said is we didn't create enough clear-cut goal-scoring chances. That's the key point that we should note. As much as we did that stuff right, in terms of a good link-up play, getting to Everton's box, we didn't create enough clear-cut goal-scoring chances. I don't even remember any clear-cut goal-scoring chances in the first half, which tells you what you need to know. So that aspect could have been improved upon. But other than that, I was very, very happy with how we were playing. Everton showed that with free kicks, they are a threat. With counterattacks, they are a threat, here and there. But the threat was minimal, in my opinion, because you'd see that threat now and then. It wasn't constant, And our defense was also playing very well. Kalidou Koulibaly, he's getting into positions to make interceptions, right? Head the ball away where he needs to head the ball away, clear the ball where he needs to clear the ball. And furthermore, what he was doing that I liked in that first half is he was being our Thiago Silva. And what I mean by that is he's a centre-back, right? But he's helping to facilitate the play, He's getting the ball, he's passing it out wide, passing it into midfield, trying to break the lines, like Thiago Silva would. So yeah, he did well in that situation. And I think overall during the game, he was the best of the back three. Now, the back three as a whole were good, but he stood out in comparison to Wesley Fofana and Benoit Bareshile. Yeah. I nearly forgot his name, right? Yeah. With Bareshile and Fofana, they played well as two, right? But I feel like Koulibaly, he stood out. He made himself, he made his presence felt, and you could see that he's a leader in that back three. So that was good to see. Now, going into the second half, I was thinking that we need to keep the same team, right? João Felix was doing a decent job. There's few situations in which he could have done better and whatnot, but it was okay. It was truly okay. I was looking at it and saying, you know what, keep him on. He's playing well. He'll do something right for us in the second half. Kai Havertz and Christian Pulisic, they also played well, but with them, they weren't involving themselves as much as João Felix, and that's what I wasn't so happy about, bro. Because what you saw is, what's his name? You saw João Felix getting into certain positions, getting shots off, making those runs in behind, really being a menace to that Everton defense. And then Kai Havertz and Christian Pulisic would have their moments as well, but very few and far between. So that was my problem with them. But I wouldn't have taken either of them off just because of that. As for Kovacic and Enzo Fernandez, they were good in midfield. I think that Kovacic was dictating the play nicely, and really running that midfield, right? And that's something that I think has been missing from our play, in terms of a midfielder who's holding down that midfield. And he did that for us today. And he helped orchestrate the good play going forward. As for Enzo Fernandez, he was doing what he does best, bro. The passing. The passing was very, very good. Sublime. Diagonals here, diagonals there. It was good, As for Ben Chilwell, I liked what he was doing, getting up the pitch, getting close to the byline, putting balls into the box, being a constant threat on the left-hand side. As for Reece James at right wing back, I feel like we weren't giving him the ball enough. So the impact that he could have made was limited in the first half. Now, going to the second half, we started it in the same way we started the first half, very strong, right? And in the first 7 minutes of the second half, we get a goal from João Felix. So what had happened was Enzo Fernandez got the ball, beautiful diagonal to the left-hand side. Ben Chilwell gets the ball, puts the ball into the box, right? And now Everton tried to clear the ball, but then unsuccessful. And the ball falls to the feet of João Felix, takes a foot with his left shot off the post and in, and it was looking good. It was looking good at that point, bruv. But after we scored, I'm thinking we need a second goal because I know how Chelsea are. I know how Chelsea are, right? And I'm thinking we need a second goal. We need a second goal. Unfortunately, it didn't look like we were going to get a second goal from the time we had scored until much, much later. And from the time we had scored, it looked like we had just fizzled out a bit. We weren't bringing the same good attacking football going forward. We're allowing Everton to grow into the game, to find their footing, to attack us constantly. So that wasn't so good. Now, let's talk about how we conceded the goal that we conceded from the corner. With that, I heard the commentators note that the big guys of Everton were being marked by Kovacic, who isn't very tall, Gallagher, he has decent height, and Enzo Fernandez, who is short, right? He noted this, and he noted that Kalidou Koulibaly and Benoit Bareshile, who is a big man, were occupying the posts, right? Now, with that, seems like a decent strategy, right? So the ball coming to the box, right? Maybe an Everton man wins the ball, puts a header in on goal, and then Bareshile or Koulibaly clear the ball, right? Maybe that was a thinking from Graham Potter. Now, in theory, it doesn't sound like a terrible idea, but it just did not work. Because what happened? A ball was put into the box. It's won by the big men of... Who was it won by? I think it was Ben Godfrey. Yeah, I think it was Ben Godfrey, right? And after he won that, he taps it on, and who scored? Abdoulaye Doucouré, yes, he scored. Now you're just looking at that thinking, if only Benoit Badiashile and Khalid Koulibaly were marking Godfrey and Doucouré, maybe things could have been different. Understand what I'm saying? But anyway, it's fine. It's fine. What made me a little bit mad though was the fact that Graham Potter took off, what's his name? Took off Pulisic and he put on Gallagher. If you're taking off Pulisic, what I think he should have done in that moment was to say, okay, you know what, Mikhailo Mudryk, let's go. You know, let's give you a few minutes. Let's see what you can do. You've got around half an hour. Score, assist, whatever you can do to help the team, just do that. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, no, it was Gallagher instead. Now, I don't have anything against Gallagher, but he's not attacking like Mudryk is. Gallagher can be a hybrid between an attacking midfielder, right, and a defensive midfielder. You know, he can be that center midfielder because he can help us defensively and he can also do a lot for us offensively. But Mikhailo Mudryk is a left winger, right? Attacking is his specialty. So I was just thinking, put Mikhailo Mudryk on, let's get a second goal. What are we doing wasting time with Gallagher, you know? So yeah, that made me a little bit unhappy, but it's fine. We move. Now, as the game went on, you're thinking, are Chelsea going to be able to score a second? You know, and at some point, I wasn't sure where it was going to come from. But luckily, we got the ball to Reece James, right? Reece James did his thing, and he won us a penalty. And Kai Havertz put that penalty away with great aplomb. So that was good from him. Now, after that, you're thinking, okay, things look like they're going to go Chelsea's way today. You know, it looks like it's done, you know. Everton had their chance, but they didn't take advantage of it. It's going to finish 2-1, right? This is what I was thinking to myself. But unfortunately, that wasn't to be. It wasn't to be because we're just fragile. With a 1-goal lead, we are fragile, bro. And like I said, the ball falls to Ellis Sims, right? He gets past Khalid Koulibaly easily, gets a shot off, right? Kepa should have saved it, but doesn't save it. Goes into the back of the net. It's 2-2. And I got quite frustrated towards the end of the game because now I'm thinking, you leaving 5 minutes in the game to win the game. And that's not what I'm saying, because Everton scored in the 89th minute or so. So now we gave ourselves basically 5 minutes to win the game, right? And it's just like, this is unnecessary, gents. We were in the lead. Why must we now throw away that lead for no reason, bro? We didn't have to concede the second goal. The first goal even, we didn't have to concede. It's frustrating when players play well for the most part and then they just throw it away at the end. It's so annoying. So yeah, it is what it is. The one positive from this is that there are two positives actually. We played well. That's number one. We did actually play well. Number two, it shows us that we've made progress over the last few weeks, but there's still work to do, right? And this draw has shown us that there's still things that we need to work on. And I'm hoping that Potter will work on those things, get them sorted out before we play Real Madrid in the Champions League. Because, if not, it's chai. It's chai. You know what I'm saying? Playing Madrid in the Champions League in the quarterfinal for the second season in a row, it's not the one. It's not make sure. It's not fun. But it is what it is. Potter just has to prove himself against top-tier opposition. And now I'm hoping that he's going to see the flaws in this team and say, okay, we have a very good team, but these are our flaws, and let me fix those flaws so that we can put in the best possible performance against Madrid. So yeah, guys, those are my thoughts on the game. And then a few things that I want to address. First of all, with last week's video, I'm sorry that I didn't edit out the parts in which like I was too sick to continue, right? I couldn't figure it out and I had to decide between uploading what I had or taking a while to figure this thing out the next day and possibly not uploading because I had work to do as well. Then another thing is there was no preview for the Everton game because, last night I came back late from a basketball game, right, in which my uni won. And yeah, no. When I came back, I was so tired. I was just thinking, you know what, let me sleep. I'll get a preview out early in the morning. Wasn't able to do that. So yeah, that's why there was no preview. But otherwise, that's all I have to say. See you next time, guys. Cheers.